Time at the moment for this particular hour. I just want to ask you finally, how do you think Libyans are going to be responding to what was a pretty terrifying speech from Gaddafi?
Well, they will still hold the beacon of liberty very, very high. It's a principle that we all want in the Middle East. It's a principle that we want firmly in Libya. The fear is gone. He will kill, and it's upon the international governments to stop him, but the Libyan people will not stop until they get freedom.
Anas El-Gamati, really appreciate you talking to us. Thanks so much for coming into the studio. And that is the very latest news from here in Europe. Back now to Taimur, who is, of course, in Doha.
Well, you can keep up to date with all the events that have been going on in Libya. Recheck on what Gaddafi has been saying to the nation tonight. And keep up to date with blogs and live commentary from all our correspondents, all at our website, aljazeera.net/English.
Business Latest is brought to you by the Qatar Tourism Authority and Catalan. Business Latest is brought to you by the Qatar Tourism Authority and Catalan.
All the news, all the time. aljazeera.net/English.
It's the right ingredients, in just the right amount. It's 729 layers, and several well-spent hours. It's when 1 degree too high is too high. 1 minute too long is just too long. And then you remember, this is just the appetizer. A 5-star menu on board Qatar Airways. Qatar Airways, world's 5-star airline.
This is Al Jazeera.
Hello and welcome to the News Hour. I'm Taimur Nabili from Al Jazeera's news centres in Doha and London with live and continuing coverage of Libya's uprising. Now, in his first major speech since the unrest began, a defiant Muammar Gaddafi calls on his supporters to reclaim the streets.
I will not leave the country, and I will die as a martyr at the end.
But on the streets of Tripoli, those calling for Gaddafi to go are met with lethal force.
And I'm Felicity Barr in London. We'll have European reaction to the growing crisis in Libya, including here in London, where hundreds of protesters gathered outside the residence of the British Prime Minister.
Well, as nations scramble to get their citizens out of the country, production in Libya's lucrative oil industry is faltering. Well, it's 10 p.m. in Libya now, and the citizens of the country have this evening had the opportunity to hear directly from their leader for the first time since this crisis began. Muammar Gaddafi spoke for 75 minutes. That was only 25 minutes shy of that marathon speech he gave at the UN General Assembly in 2009. But the tone was similarly defiant and, in many ways, incomprehensible. The pro-democracy protesters inside and outside the country are still calling for the leader of more than 40 years to step down, but Gaddafi used his speech to refuse that request. And in the past few minutes, we've heard that he's been on the phone to Italy's Prime Minister, Silvio Berlusconi, telling him that everything inside his country is fine. Well, in his address to state TV, Gaddafi made it perfectly clear he will not step down out of choice.
Muammar Gaddafi is not the president, he is a leader of a revolution. He has nothing to lose. Revolution means always sacrifice until the end of life. This is my country, the country of my great-grandfathers. We planted and we watered it with our grandfather's blood. We deserve Libya from those rats and agents. Who are these agents who are being paid by security vessels? God curse them, damn them. I will not leave the country, and I will die, as a martyr at the end. Those who commit crime against the army, anybody who shall be handed the death sentence, who works for a foreign country, that undermines the defense of the country. We are not blame the youth. When they are caught and prosecuted, they will be begging for mercy, and this time we will not be so merciful. We will not be forgiving. I salute you, and you put before the world the real pictures of the Libyan people, that you've gone out. You give the truth, which being that the agents and cowardice trying to distort, to cover it, to give a wrong picture of you before the world. Some Arab medias depict you as a bad people. We challenge America with its mighty power. We challenge even the superpower in the world, and we became victory. Here they put their heads down. Libya even kissed the grave of the sheikh of all martyrs, Omar al-Mukhtar. It's not the victory for the cities of Libya, but the victory for Libyan people. I don't blame them, these youths. They are young people, 16, 17, 18. They are emulating what's happening in Tunisia. And they imitating what's happening in some cities, like they had about something a raid on a court building. They say we shall do it in our city, but there is a group that is, I feel they are sick, in a group giving money and these tablets, elimination tablets, to these young people, very young people, pushing them